Most part, I really pleased with the way the players are sort of pushing through. I think you really have to focus when you have a little time off on forcing yourself, pushing yourself to finish, play with this discipline, get back to the kind of focus that it takes to execute on a consistent basis. And, not take for granted that you're just going to pick up where you left off. I think there's a little process that you have to go through. We had 3 good days of, sort of fundamental type practices, and actually started yesterday, on preparation for this game. Continued that, to some degree to today. So if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not doing all the things you need to do to focus on doing your job at a high level, and being able to sustain, get your conditioning level up to where you can sustain your performance, then, you're really kind of helping your opponent. So, we're also, being very conscious with our players about, taking care of themselves, social distancing, all those types of things, so that we can kind of manage our way through, some of the flu that's going around, not just COVID, but stomach viruses and things like that. So, but so far the players have done a pretty good job of doing that. Now we'll finish this week with Tuesday and Wednesday practices. Then the players will be off for 3 days. We're going to Dallas on the 26th. We'll practice out there on the 26th, and kind of have a normal week of practice. So we're excited and happy all the time that we have players that get recognized for national awards. I think who they are, but I just want to publicly congratulate all those guys for their great efforts this year. And it's always a good thing that, guys get, a lot of positive self-gratification for being recognized. And but it's also a team sport. So if you got recognized for anything, then you should know that somebody else on your team did a really good job to help you have the success that you had. And I think our players are very, aware of that. So we don't have any, new updates on injuries or anything like that. We've got guys practicing and doing the best they can.
Okay, we'll start with Michael Casagrande. Michael.
Yeah, what have you seen from the receivers so far in practice, and who's stepping into that void left by John Mechie?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand.
Receivers, how they're doing in practice, and the void left by Mechie, who's stepping into that?
Yeah, well, I think the guys are stepping up and doing a good job. Javon Baker's done a good job. Trayshawn Holden has done a good job. Agyie Hall is, making some good plays. I think those guys, look forward to the opportunity that they have, and they're doing the best they can to get prepared to try to be able to, help the team every way that they can. Corey has, been playing well for us. So, he's also, a guy that's continues to improve.
We'll go to Aaron Suttles.
When you look at their front seven, especially as it pertains to stopping the run, what do you see?
They're very active. They're very aggressive. They're a good group. They play a 3-3 stack. They slide over to a 4-down, front sometimes. They plug a lot of backers. They have a lot of good pressures. They play a lot of man-to-man, but they change it up quite a bit. They play very well together as a team. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They fit the runs. They do the things they need to do to have success together as a group. And they got some very talented guys. They got a good secondary. They got some guys up front that can rush and have some quickness, and their linebackers are very good players. So all around, this is a really good defensive team.
We'll go to John Zener with the
AP. Evening, Coach. We can all kind of see the physical attributes that Will Anderson has that make him a good player, but what sets them apart, whether it's intensity off the field, relentlessness on it, what kind of sets him apart to help him fulfill that potential?
Well, I think what sets anybody apart is, what's your mindset, how important it is to you, how you're willing to edit your behavior to accomplish the goals that you have. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. And, Will's A+ and, all those intangible areas. Plus he's got, really good physical ability. And the guy is an overachiever, even at that, with all the physical ability that he has because of the mindset that he has. He's a great effort player. He's very conscientious. He does his job well in the game. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He kind of prepares well for every game. And so, I think it's always the intangible things that help you get to your full potential. And, Will's certainly got great intangibles with great ability, and that usually makes for great players.
Go to Charlie Potter.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Going back to Cincinnati's defense, just what impresses you about their secondary and specifically their two corners?
Well, their two corners are long and they're good players. They play a lot of man-to-man. They've got good ball skills. They're good man-to-man players. They're aggressive in the way they play. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're smart. They've got a lot of experience, even when they change it up and they play zone. And they're ball hawkers. They're all ball hawkers. Back there, they really attack the ball. They've got a lot of turnovers. So it's just really a talented group.
Okay, we'll go to Tony. Tony, go ahead.
Nick, can you give an update on Chris Allen and how's his rehab going?
Well, I said there was no injury updates. Chris Allen is doing what he can do. And it's a tough rehab for the injury that he has. And I think everybody's doing a really good job of trying to help him get to where he'd like to be and where he needs to be. But that's, still pretty much up in the air.
Okay, unless I got a couple more here. James Hill.
Hey, Coach, James Hill with BNC Sports. Can you just talk a little bit about the Bama Built concept going in? It's a business trip, going to the Cotton Bowl and win a football game.
Well, look, we want our players to have fun. We want them to have fun in practice. We want to have them fun in the game. But we also want them to, get the kind of rest, take care of themselves, don't put themselves in positions where it could be a detriment to their brand or to their ability to get ready and perform in the game. And, we're going to be there for a while. I want the players to enjoy themselves, but I also want them to be smart about how they take care of themselves. And that's all part, of, this being a business trip. And most of the time, their willingness to do that is pretty much says, what they're committed to and how important it is to them. And because it becomes a priority for them to play well in the game. But I usually let the players decide, what the curfews are and, that type of thing.
Okay, we'll go a couple more, 2 or 3 more here. Steve Crocker. Steve, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Coach. Just wondering, with the havoc that COVID is having on pro sports, what are the players saying about it? Are you changing their protocols at all to protect them?
Yeah.
And are you concerned about them going home for their break?
Well, we let our players go home for the break last year, and we educate the families. We give them a care package with everything they need to stay safe. And we have implemented all the protocols here since we've been back that we had last year in terms of wearing masks in meetings, washing hands, social distancing in meetings. And we are encouraging the players to do that when they leave here. So we're really putting the protocols in place that we used a year ago, which was helpful to us. And we're going to keep doing that. Am I concerned? I'm always concerned when there's an issue out there, and we want to do the best we can to help our players be concerned about the issue and respect it so that they have the best opportunity to stay safe. We've done a good job of vaccinating our players. We've also done a good job of giving our players booster shots, which most of them, I think we have like over 90% of the players, have gotten booster shots. So they've really kind of bought into trying to do everything they can to stay safe. But there's no guarantees. So we want to use, every protocol we can to help them stay safe.
We'll finish up with a follow-up from Aaron.
You are really into the psychology more so than maybe any other coach in college football history. In that regard, how rare is like Bryce's ability to having his background he had with his father in terms of making the main thing the main thing?
Yeah, well, I think he does a really good job of that. He's, very focused on what he needs to do. He doesn't let external factors distract him very often. He's got, good ability to focus on the next play and not get too bothered about what happened on the last play. I think he has a high standard for himself in terms of what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve. But he also is very focused on the process of what he has to do that, how he needs to prepare, how he needs to understand, how he needs to practice. And he sets a really good example for all of the players on the team by the way he does that. And I think it sort of shows in his consistency and performance, all year long.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.